Happy Monday, everyone. I guess I am about 30 seconds early today. That is unusual for me. But that is hey, it's a new Monday, new leaf. Good morning. If you're joining us live, please say hello. This is your Monday morning motivation from us over here at Clutter Boss. I am Jess Marcy. I'm your Clutter Boss delivering motivation for you today. I have been out of the country traveling on a little adventure for the past 2 weeks. And like everything that I do, I find parallels in everyday life to decluttering. And I just wanted to share one of the things that I really thought a lot about while I was away. And just some context, when I go on vacation, it's not like a relaxing sort of thing that many people would think of as a vacation. I like to spend time outdoors. I like to give myself a good challenge. And this challenge was hiking in the Scottish Highlands. I love hiking. I love long distance hiking. And normally I do that in the woods for a couple of days or maybe longer than that. This was in Scotland along the coast, and every night we stayed in an inn. So it was a little, I mean, in that sense, it was a real vacation. Good morning, Debbie. I didn't have to sleep in a tent every night. So, but okay, what I was thinking about as I was hiking along, I mean, there were so many parallels that I could draw to decluttering. And one of the biggest ones was the hike that I did was about 150 miles. I did not complete the entire thing. I did about 120 miles. Towards the end, I really had some struggles with the scenery, with the footing. It was just different than what I expected. But of course, I gave myself some grace and decided that some is better than none. Some is better than none. And that's, of course, one takeaway that we can definitely apply to anything that we're doing consistently. Even if we can't do it every single day, the full amount, any little bit is critical and important and helpful. So even if you can't do it all, and this is like a mindset that I really had to learn as I went through my own personal decluttering journey, it is okay to get some percentage of the way that is not 100%. That is okay. And that is way better than nothing. So there was that one lesson, but here was another one that I really, really wanted to talk about today. When you hear that I hiked 120 miles or 100 and whatever it was, you may think to yourself, there may be some little comparison in there or some judgment or, we all listen to other people's stories and life events and we filter it through our own voice and our own experience and our own past. We have these heavy personal filters that we apply to everything. So, whereas some people may hear that I hiked this amount and they may think I could never do that, or she's crazy, or whatever it is, that getting into that point of comparison, it's such an interesting thing because the particular hike that I was doing was actually the first bit of a much longer hike called the end to end, or Land's End. It has a couple of different names, but the longer hike goes from the very tip of the UK to the very bottom of the UK. So it goes all the way from the top of Scotland to the bottom of Great Britain, and it's about 1,200 miles. So as I was hiking along, struggling on my, here I go, comparison, right? My measly 120 to 150-mile hike, there were people who were hiking who were either at the beginning of their 1,200-mile trek or at the end of their 1,200-mile trek. So the point being, it's all perspective, right? When we start to compare ourselves to others, it's just so pointless and useless because it's not about anyone else's journey. It's not about the fact that this person was walking 1,200 miles and I was only walking 120 miles, right? Who cares? Who cares? Or it's not about that, you could never imagine walking 120 miles. Right? It doesn't matter. This is our journey. I was really, really deeply reminded that no one is on our path. right? No one is walking in our shoes. Nobody knows our background, our history. Nobody knows our reasons or justifications for what we do. And that nobody needs to, because this is our own journey. So when you're decluttering or when you're looking at what other people have or don't have, and you're heavily filtering it through your own personal experience and you're feeling any comparison like feelings, I urge you to just let that go. You are on your own path. You are exactly where you need to be. And the most important thing is that you keep showing up for yourself every single day. And maybe you don't show up 100%, but if you show up 1% better than you did yesterday, at the end of the year, you'll be infinitely further ahead. And it's only about you versus you. We can be our own worst critics, but we can also be our own best motivators. So remove yourself from that comparison, right? To compare is pointless. It is pointless. And just think about, what can I do for me right now that's going to help me move forward one more step, one more little percentage point at a time. Because it doesn't matter what this person is doing over here. They haven't lived my life. They haven't walked in my shoes. I haven't lived their life. I haven't walked in their shoes. It doesn't matter what's going on over here. All that matters is what is going on in here. Every single person who is watching this, who is struggling to declutter or struggling with anything in their life, you can do it. Your journey is going to look unique to you. And that is the most beautiful thing, because you're going to get the unique lessons from that that you need to get to continue to move forward. So don't give up on yourself. Don't compare your journey to anyone else's. Don't compare your countertops to anyone else's. Don't compare your house to anyone else's, because we all got here through different life experiences and we're all exactly where we need to be. And you have the power and the strength and the ability to continue moving forward, regardless of what is happening around you or with other people. So if you're at the 0 mile, if you're at the 120 mile, if you're at the 150 mile, or if you're at the 1200 mile, wherever you are, you're where you need to be. And just keep believing in yourself, one step at a time. It is almost May, which is super exciting. I love a new month. I love a spring month. I feel like spring cleaning and decluttering and organizing, we start to get very motivated to do that right now. If you have that motivation, run with it. Run with it. Use all the motivation that you can get while you have it. And sending you lots of love and support, one step at a time, my friends. I will see you tomorrow for Ask a Clutter Boss. All right. Have a great week, everyone.